Hey guys, Lauren with Mental Health Gym here. Today I am going to be talking to you guys about off-season programming. Off-season programming is that special time between competitions where we decide to get really lazy and then hate ourselves later for it. Just kidding. But off-season training is just as important, if not sometimes more necessary, than competition prep. Off-season is that time where you address your personal and individual weaknesses. It's also a time where you might address other goals that you have with your weight training. It's a time where you set new goals that might not have aligned with your competition prep. It's also a time to catch up on recovery. It's a time to improve on conditioning, which as strongman athletes, we all know we can do better at. Programming for a competition is actually a lot easier, in my opinion, than programming for an off season. When you are programming for a competition, you know what the goals are. They're written out for you by the promoter. Off season is a time where a lot of athletes kind of feel left out in the wind because they don't know what to do or focus on. So here are a couple of things that I would suggest that every athlete focus on in their off season. Number one, new goals. Let's face it, if you are preparing for a strongman competition, you have anywhere from about 3 to 5 events to be preparing for. Unfortunately, that does not leave a lot of room for any other personal goals in the weight room that you might have. So if you have another goal inside of the weight room, which I think everybody should have other goals outside of competing, then this is the time that you program and work towards those new goals. When another competition prep time comes along, put that goal on hold. You've done a lot of work, it's not going anywhere. Cycle back into your competition prep, and then when the next off season rolls back around, pick up where you left off with your personal goal. The second thing I would focus on is weaknesses. As humans, as athletes, we all have weaknesses. We all have imbalances. My left arm doesn't work at all. My right one works okay. Off season is the time to address these imbalances and these individual weaknesses that we have, because during a competition prep, you just don't have time to address everything. Yes, if something extremely urgent or necessary comes up that needs to be fixed in the middle of competition prep, and you can't continue prep without fixing this issue, then address it. But as athletes, you can't tell me that you haven't worked through aches and pains and imbalances and weaknesses just to get through a competition. During the off season, that's the time that you need to be working on your little tank arm, all right? The left arm should be just as strong as the right arm, or vice versa if you're left-handed or left side dominant. Off season gives you plenty of time to draw up plans based off of the shit you already know about your body. You know what hurts every day. During off season, take that knowledge, take that information from your body, do a little research, and figure out how to fix it. Lastly, I want to talk about weight classes. Off season is the time where you can really manipulate your weight, and it's not going to really hurt anything because you don't have to weigh in at any particular time. Typically, weight class athletes tend to stay within the same weight class for a pretty long time. If you're not trying to change weight classes, then in your off season, your goal should be to increase lean muscle mass, keep at bay as much as you can bad weight gain, and try to become the most efficient and strong and powerful weight class athlete, lightweight, middleweight, heavyweight, that you can be without exceeding the weight class too much. Eventually, you're going to have to hit a certain number on the scale. So don't get too far over that weight class if you're not planning on jumping up in a weight class. If your goal is to drop a weight class or go up a weight class, this is also the time to make those adjustments. It's really not smart to try and play with your weight too much when you're smack dab in the middle of a competition prep. That's gonna affect your performance, and that's gonna affect your mental game too. Trying to switch to a different weight class, use that off season to do it in a slow and gradual and lasting way. As weight class athletes, we put our bodies through a lot of shit. Realistically, these off seasons also need to be about recovery and, again, fixing imbalances and fixing things that hurt. If you spend all that time dropping down to the next weight class or going up to the next weight class, That's still a lot of wear and tear on your body, your metabolism, and your mental health. Off season to me essentially comes down to balance. When you're smack dab in the middle of competition prep, you're not worried about all those little bitty things that all the old heads tell you you need to be doing until you get to my age, 35, and everything starts breaking down. Off season comes down to balance. Balancing out what you do during a competition prep with what you know your body needs to be doing to function properly during those competition preps. Do me a favor, guys, give this video a like and go and subscribe to this page. Leave me a comment and let me know what you like to do in your off season. I'd love to hear your responses. Y'all have a great day and talk to you later. Bye.